Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create an iOS plugin for converting speech to text in Godot game engine. So let's get started. So firstly, to create an iOS plugin, obviously you would require macOS. I already have that. Then you will have to install Python 3. Then I have also installed Xcode from Apple App Store. And you require scones. To install scones, firstly you would require homebrew. I hope you already have that. And to install scones, you just have to run this command brew install scones inside your terminal, and it would install scones for you. Then we have to create one folder. Now I have already created this work folder where I will be copying a lot of code from. So that was first part of my practice. Now I have created, so don't ignore this work folder. I have created another folder called my workspace. You can name it whatever you feel like, your choice. Now inside my workspace we have to create another folder called plugin. So now you can follow what I am exactly doing. So I will create one folder called plugin. The next thing which you have to do, go to your plugin, is you will have to open your terminal, cd to the plugin folder, and then you will have to run this particular command. Now at the time of this recording I am using Godot 4.2, but if you are using higher version, make sure you change this particular number to whatever you are using. So firstly this will download the Godot source code from GitHub. I already have it, so what I'll do is I'll just copy paste it because it is quite big and it will take a little bit of time, so be patient. Once the Godot source code is downloaded, again go to your terminal, cd to the Godot folder which it has cloned, and then you will have to run this particular command. Now this will generate iOS headers for you. Again the Godot folder which I am copying already has generated this iOS headers for me, so I won't be running this command. Now again this will take lot of time, so be patient. Okay, next what we have to do is open Xcode, click on create new project, select iOS, select static library, click next. Here we will have to give some product name, so I'll give speech to text. You can give it whatever you feel like. Then in language select Objective-C, give some organization identifier, make sure it is different as compared to your bundle identifier for Godot game engine, and you will have to select your team as well. So I'll quickly select my team, and then you will have to click on next. Okay, so as you can see, after clicking next, you will again have to go to your plugin folder and create your iOS plugin or iOS static library inside that project. So I'll just click on create. It has created me that particular thing. Now what I'll do is I'll copy paste some code which I have already written. Most of it is boilerplate code, but I'll explain you the relevant code of converting speech to text. So I'll just open some files which I have already coded. Okay, and firstly we have to create this module header file. So our library name is speech to text, right? So I will just right click, new file, header file, next speech to text underscore module, click create, and here next new file, select Objective-C, next name it as underscore module, click next, click create. Now you will have to change the extension to .mm, so it is Objective-C++. Similarly for this particular file as well. Then I'll go to this particular file, I'll copy paste this code. So this is what module file of header, right? So I'll go to this particular file and I'll just paste that particular code. Now this is boilerplate code, even I don't understand it, so I'll just, instead of arithmetic, I'll replace it everywhere. Now this is the first iOS plugin which I had created, that's why the name is arithmetic everywhere. But yeah, I'll just quickly change the name. It's very difficult to remember all this code by heart, that's why I'm referring it. Next is this arithmetic module file. Again I'll copy paste it. Again this is boilerplate code, don't worry about it, only we have to change the name. So this is speech to text. Okay, and here I'll just name it speech to text. Okay, I'll name it over here as well. I'll name it over here, S should be capital. I'll name it over here, S is capital. I'll name it over here, and over here as well. Over here S is capital, and over here, here, as well as over here. Next, if you see, this is our header file. So I'll again just copy paste it. Arithmetic header. So here we'll have to go to this particular header file. Again, I'll copy paste it over here. Firstly, we'll have to replace arithmetic with speech to text. Everything should be capital. So speech to text. Okay, I'll copy paste this and I'll paste it over here. Then I'll copy this. Okay, so here you can see I'm importing two frameworks from iOS. One is speech, second one is AV Foundation. Then again I'll name this as speech to text, and this as well speech to text, this as well speech to text. Here I have created one method called convert speech to text, which we have defined inside our header file, and we'll have to write the implementation inside our Objective-C++ file. Again, this should be speech to text, speech to text, speech to text as well. Then over here we'll go to Objective-C file. I'll copy paste the code again, go to this Objective-C++ file, I'll paste it over here, and here again I have copy pasted this speech to text header file. Then here again we'll copy paste it. So I'll copy this, and here again I'll just paste it over here. I'll paste it over here, I'll paste it over here, I'll paste it over here as well. Okay, sorry, just a second. Okay, sorry, speech to text, and this should be also speech to text. Here I have created 4 variables. One is speech recognizer, another is audio buffer recognition request, next is SF speech recognition task, and fourth is AV audio engine. And here we have also created one interface called SF speech recognizer delegate, because we need to set the delegate. So here you can see once we are creating our speech to text, so here also I'll replace it, here also I'll replace it. We require that particular delegate to set it, so that's why we were extending this particular thing over here. And currently I'm only recognizing English text, but you can change it to whatever you feel like. Next is so SF, yeah, here we are requesting for speech recognition permission. Okay, and here I'll just speech to text, and here these are like switch cases which I have created. Now I am only handling this, like once the speech is authorized, then I am sending some text. Similar like what I have done over here, you can do the similar thing over here. So suppose in case the user denies the permission, you can send a signal back to your Godot side that okay, the permission was denied. Similarly for status restricted, status not determined as well. So I have ignored that, but just like what I have done over here, you can do the same thing over here. I will show you where exactly I have defined this signal later on. Okay, then here also we have to replace it with speech to text, and here we have to deinitialize it, speech to text over here as well, and here we have to return our instance. Here I will create speech to text, and here you can see here I have created one signal for whatever you will speak, that would be sending back to Godot side. Now if you want to create a separate signal for status check, you can create it like what I have done over here. You can do the similar thing. So the data we want to send is of string type, that's why this variant is of type string. I'm not sure what this result is all about. I think this particular name has result, that's why I have defined result over here. Like the template which I was following had this. I'm not really sure what this result thing is all about. And here we are overriding not overriding, but we had defined this convert speech to text method inside our header file, right? So same thing I have defined over here as well as over here, and the same method I have defined over here. So I'll just replace over here as well as over here, and if the audio engine is running, I'm stopping it, and here we are just ending our audio. If it is not running, then we first if there is any recognition task going on, we are cancelling it. Then we create a new AV audio session. In case if there is any error, I'm just printing it to the console, but like similar, if you want to, so here you can see that I'm sending signal back to Godot side. Similar way you can send this error message back to Godot side as well using this emit signal. But if you want to use text result, or you can define some other signal as well if you want. Okay, then here these are all error key check cases which we are doing, so you can just copy paste it. Then here we are creating our recognition request, then AV audio input code, and here we are checking if input code is not equal to empty or null, and should report partial results. I have kept it as yes, you can keep it as no as well, your choice. Then here we are doing a recognition, so as soon as you start speaking and that text has been detected by the iOS, we are sending it back to Godot side. So this is how we are sending it, and here I'm just logging it. Okay, and in case if there is any error, I'm just doing all this stuff. And here we are just doing AV audio format. Even I'm not really sure about all this stuff. I've just copied pasted it from the documentation, and here we are preparing our audio engine, and here we are just doing start and return error. In case if there is any error, I'm again logging it to the console, but if you want, you can send it back to the Godot side as well. Now the next thing is, you will have to go over here, go to speech to text, and here you will have to change your deployment target. I'll keep it as minimum as 16, but change it whatever you feel like. Also, if I go to my plugin folder, go to Godot, go to platform, iOS, right click on any of this file. I'll just right click on get info. It will give you the complete path. I'll copy that particular path, and here inside build settings, I'll just search for header search path. I'll double click on this, I'll click plus, and I'll enter that particular path. Okay, now again let me check my cheat sheet. I'll close all this. So we are already done with all this stuff. We have changed the, okay, I have written all this code as well. I've written, okay, next we have to close Xcode completely, so I'll just click quit Xcode. Next what you have to do is go to speech to text, and here you see .xcode proj, right? Move it one folder before, so I'll just drag it. Okay, and here you have speech to text. Select all this file and also move it one folder before. Now you have speech to text as empty, so I'll just delete I'll just delete this. Now this is done to create the .a file. Even I am not really sure why we want to do this, but anyways, just do it. Then we have to create a .gdip file, so I'll just copy paste it from here, what I have created previously inside our plugin folder. Okay, and I'll name it as speech to text, so whatever is your library name, so I'll just rename it, and I'll open in VS Code just to show you the content. So here you can see you will have to replace it with speech to text, so S would be capital. This is speech to text, this should be speech to text as well, and this should be speech to text as well. And here we are creating our speech.framework. So we are because we use this speech framework as well as AV foundation inside our code, we have to include it over here as well. And inside plist we require NS microphone usage description as well as NS speech recognition usage description. You should write better strings over here, otherwise Apple may reject it, like why do you require the microphone permission as well as speech recognition permission. So write better strings over here. Okay, so this is done. Next we are done with this. Then we have to create an sconstruct file. This file is quite big, so you can go to this particular URL to copy, like I have created one sample file for this, so you can just copy paste it. So I already have one sconstruct file. I'll copy it, paste it inside my plugin folder. I will open it in VS Code again just to show you the contents. Firstly, it has the name again arithmetic. I need to replace it with speech to text, so I'll just copy this. I'll go to my sconstruct file, I'll replace this with speech to text over here, and here as well speech to text. speech to text and speech to text. Also one more thing which you have to notice, if you see, so for this particular thing, if you remember the minimum deployment target, we have kept it as 16 in Xcode, so make sure you use the same number over here as well. Okay, I'll quickly save this. So this part is done as well. Next we have to create a bin folder inside our plugin, so I'll just create one bin folder, sorry, not in bin. Okay, next we'll have to, I think, run this particular command, but instead of arithmetic over here we'll have to write speech to text. So I'll open my terminal quickly, and we will have to cd to our plugin folder. So I'll quickly drag and drop my plugin folder, and I'll quickly run this command. So in here, instead of arithmetic, I will quickly run speech to text. And what it does is it will basically generate a .a file for you. Once this is done, you will have to in case if there is no error, so here you can see it has finished generating, and if you see the bin folder, it creates a .a file for us. Now we will have to create a Godot game, like a Godot project. So I'll quickly create that and come back. You don't have to create it inside your plugin folder, like you can keep it anywhere. I'll just create it inside my workspace. So as you can see, I have created my Godot project in this particular folder. I have also created one more empty folder called my awesome iOS, because once we export from our Godot project to an Xcode project, I will save it inside this particular folder. Next, inside our Godot project, we have to create a folder called iOS. Inside that, create a folder called plugins, then plugins with an S. Then go to our main plugin folder, go to bin, copy this .a file, go to your Godot project, go to iOS plugins, paste it over here. But here you will have to change the name to speech to text. Okay, I'll just copy this name. Also we have to copy this particular .gdip file from our plugin folder to iOS plugins of our Godot game. Now I will just copy this name, speech to text, and I'll rename this as speech to text.a. Then we'll have to go to our Godot project, go to project, export, add iOS. Here you will have to click on fix import. You will have to add your App Store team ID. To get that, you can go to this particular URL. This will tell you how to get your App Store team ID. I will enter that later on. And you will also have to so here you will have to enter your bundle identifier. I'll just enter it as com.my awesome Godot game, and here okay, I'll enter my text. So here inside plugins you should see speech to text. I'll check this checkbox. I'll close this. Make sure you enter your App Store team ID. I'll click on 2D scene. I'll quickly save this. I'll click on save. I'll click on this run button as well. I'll click on select current, so that our current scene is selected. Later on we don't face any issue. Then create one button. Okay, and here I will create one label as well. So I'll just open this. I'll click on my button. I will just expand it a little bit. Okay, I'll just increase this. So on the click on this button, we will start and stop our recording, and on label we will display whatever we have spoken. So I'll just enter it over here. I'll just enter it over here. Now I will enter some text like click me. Okay, and I'll click on both button as well as label and increase the font size to, I think, 35 is fine. I'll quickly save this. I'll attach one script to our node 2D. Click on create. Then I will create one like reference to our label. Now what I'll do is I'll again go back to my original project, my awesome Godot. I have created, like I already have code for it, so I don't want to waste your time writing it up by myself. So I'll just copy paste all this code. So firstly it is speech to text, Okay, over here as well, over here as well, over here as well. And you don't need this label 3, we'll just append it like this. Text result, this is fine. This should be speech to text. Oh, I have made a mistake. Speech to text. Over here, over here, over here, over here, S should be capital. Over here, S should be capital. Okay, and this should be not label 3 but label. And I need to attach one button press click listener as well, so I'll attach that particular signal. Okay, and this should be speech to text as well. Okay, so this has been attached, and here we are calling our convert speech to text method. Now I'll again have to go to project export. Okay, so again you have to go to file export, and here I'll just click on export project. I'll go to my empty iOS folder which I have created. I'll click on save. Again, this will take little bit of time, so be patient. Okay guys, so my export was successful. Then all you have to do is go to your iOS folder wherever you have exported and just double click this .xcode proj. It will open in Xcode. Firstly, you can click on this, click on targets. Inside sign in and capabilities, you will have to select your team. Again, make sure you select the same team for which you have entered the App Store team ID inside Godot. Also, if you are facing some issue like getting some error on Xcode, just uncheck this automatic manage signing, check it again and select your team again. Same goes for release mode as well. So I'll quickly select my team and run it on a real iOS device. Again, run it on a real iOS device. Don't try to run it on simulator. It might work, it might not. Like I don't care about the simulator. So I'll quickly run it on real iOS device and show you the output. Okay, so I'll quickly run my application again. I don't know why Android Studio is open. So okay, so this is my application. I'll quickly show you. So it is still running, just give it some time. Okay, I think I forgot one more thing. All right, okay, allow. I think I forgot one more thing. Let's see if it works or not. I'll click on this button and try to say something. Hello everyone. Okay, click allow. Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is coding with nobody. And I have clicked on the button again, so here you can see the label has been displayed. Like, I'm surprised it worked, but there was one more thing which I wanted to show it to you. So here if you go to info.plist, in case if you are facing any issue, make sure you have this privacy speech recognition been added. Okay, as well as you require this microphone usage description. So these two permissions should be present. What I have noticed sometimes is that even though we have written this permission inside our .gdip file, sometimes once we export our project, they don't get reflected in our export Xcode project. So make sure you add this two permissions like privacy speech usage. Again, don't try to type this on your own. If you click on this plus button over here, you can see that like Xcode already provides you all these things. So you just have to go to privacy, and here you will see something like speech recognition. So here you can see same for microphone usage as well. You will see something like this. So I am surprised, because when I was trying to practice, these permissions were not added manually. I have to add them manually. But yeah, I think somehow it worked this time. But anyways, yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.